get a hard on. When I'm best, these niggas too loose. Need to tighten, no took her to Hermes. Got her items up, what it fucked up, and a spider home. Free the guy down the road, got a hiding phone. Had my name from the street, not a microphone. Ain't no sleep, she on 2, I took Adderall. Niggas act like they us, but they not at all. Caught the baddest shit, I forgot to call. I put down in my teeth like on power walk. Pretty titties, her whole body sauce off. Hold the back of her head till her jaws locked. I don't care what he do, he a cornball. Extra legs, I'm dressing, I'm stuffed game. I'm the real one, 2 million on pinky ring. Come through pimping like Pinky without the cane. Niggas thinking they hot, but they Eddie Kane. I been put on this stuff since my baby frame. Walk around with $1 that's pocket chain. Niggas think that you smart till you knock your brain. I done brought the rover like I'm the flame. Me and Ski trying to see who the coldest shit. If I see you with bro, I don't know the bitch. Extra stuff every time, extra stuff every time, extra stuff every time when I'm stepping out. Put on stuff every time, put on stuff every time, put on stuff every time when I'm stepping out.
8x8, 36, 0 waste, 3 on 3, my type of date. All this stuff, I might be late. It's all this stuff, 8x8. Stuff is stuff is stuff. Stuff is stuff is stuff. Stuff is stuff is stuff. Wow, breaking the 9. Inside the spot, you know 3 of them mine. Feel like one oak and they one of a kind. 3 of a kind. Put on my ice and all 3 of them blind. I put grease in my soda, I'm trying to get fried. She rocking that outfit, she trying to get high. Rubbers on rubbers, I never get tired. Bought her that ice and I know she still lying. Brought number 1 on the plane cause she fly. Brought number 2 a new whip, she got dry. Brought number 3 a new Gucci, so dick. Brought number 4 a new sticker, she 5. Brought number 5, she the 5, number 5, number 5, number 5, number 5, number 5. Yeah, one at a time. Yeah. Bring them all of them. Yeah. Wow. 8x8, 36, 0 waste, 3 on 3, my type of date. All this stuff, I might be late. It's all this stuff, 8x8. Stuff is stuff is stuff. Stuff is stuff is stuff. Stuff is stuff is stuff. Wow.
Today, we're going to talk about the college basketball slate, NBA and NHL winners, and rumor has it we have a rare triple bagel system. This is behind the lines. I mean, Chucky Hepburn had Boopy Miller in jail. It was tough to watch. Maybe the worst game I've ever seen. Boopy Miller missing layups left and right. Couldn't cover a parked car. You got Chucky Hepburn jacking up threes. Didn't have a chance because for some reason, I don't know why, but in hockey, a 2-goal lead is actually like losing. It might be worse than losing. You might as well be losing, because a 2-goal lead is never safe.
This feels like a game where Ohio State can make this weirdly close, but it's a game where you look at it and you're like, okay, Purdue should dominate at home, and you turn it on because it's a tied game with 3 minutes left and Ohio State's fighting. I think this is going to be a close game when really on paper it shouldn't be at all.
And then I see this quote from the coach, his starting center, Tomislav. He literally said, deathly ill. The kid's sitting on your fucking bench. What are you talking about? He's deathly ill. He looks fine to me. And if he is that sick, why is he sitting next to the rest of your team? Are the neurons in your brain not functioning? What's going on up there in Illinois? What's going on, chat? Happy BTL Wednesday, episode 632 piece. As always, hold the fry, joined by your 2 hosts, Krabs and Jovan, presented by Bookit Sports. If you're not tracking your bets on Bookit, today could be a great day to start. Go start tracking your bets on Bookit, the best bet tracking app out there by far on the App Store or Google Play. All right, whatever phone you got, go download Bookit, start tracking your bets over there today. And Jovan, I'll just go ahead and get right to it, man. Cake.
A lot of it.
Cake. Go ahead and put the shit wager graphic up there, Goodsy. Yep, there it
Put
is.
the stamp on.
There it is. God.
Deserves a stamp. That's bad. Bad team, bad program, bad play.
Oh, here come the told you so's. Yep, there they are. Right
Always there after the fact.
Right on cue. Shit play. Bad play. If you tailed, that's on us. If you tailed, that's on us. Shit play. Marquette, They have not lost to this team in 1,400 days. They haven't lost to this team, St. John's. Well, we made history last night. Unbelievable.
Yep.
Unbelievable. All right. Let's go take a peep at the Sharp report and look at some of those plays and see how they did, because I think that was even worse. Jesus.
Horrendous.
The only guy who showed up yesterday was Peyton Sanford.
Who would have thought he would have been the one?
Man. Iowa couldn't come through. BYU forgot how to play basketball the last 5 minutes. UNLV blew it. Richie Saunders looked like that was his first game of basketball. Unbelievable. Jovan Goose egg.
Yeah.
There's a bagel system for you. There it is.
Yeah, there it is. Book was moose. I got Hero shooting 3 for 11. Brunson hitting fadeaways with 20 seconds left to go over. Unbelievable. But we gotta bounce back today. We got bench players talking like starters on the feed, man. It's time to lock in.
Fuck. TNT toothpaste. To make matters worse, we couldn't even catch that last night. Big Al came through.
He did.
That was about it. Zubox did not. Zubox, ghost. Zubox getting bitched around in the paint like he's a small forward.
Well, I mean, it was also just a blowout, which I was concerned about the other way, but he didn't play the whole fourth. Didn't have a shot, didn't have a chance.
When he played, he sucked. Wasn't good enough. God damn it, dudes.
Can't have it.
Oh, chat. I'm going to say one thing. It's us against the books. Don't be thinking any differently. Okay, this shit's a roller coaster. If you hop off now, you're going to miss out on all the benefits we're about to reap when we go on a hot streak here. Okay, ups and downs, us against the books. We're all on the same side. Let's come together today. Let's find some fucking winners. And let's weed out the cake. All right, it's really that simple. We got to do a better job weeding out the cake.
Got to.
All right? That's what we're going to do today. Okay, because I need to eat some fucking cheese. And Gootsy, last night I got no cheese.
Yeah, low-key, your dinner last night might have been the difference.
No cheese. Well, didn't help. 0-3. Didn't help.
No cheese.
No cheese. Got to earn the cheese, folks.
Difference into today.
Got to earn the cheese. And I'll tell you right now, I'm starving. I want some. I do. And I'm earning that fucking cheese tonight. Plain and simple. Okay, plain and simple. In between that mumbo sauce and that 99% lean ground turk, we're getting some fucking cheese. We're sprinkling that shit in there. And we're cashing a squad ride. Okay? Like Aloha Bets is saying in chat, it's time to put the big boy pants on and lock the fuck in. Okay? We're all on the same sides. We're all here to find winners. Okay? Trolling is much deserved with how the plays have been of late. Keep them coming. Honestly, all that's going to do is motivate us. It's much deserved. All right, but can we all agree we're all on the same team here and we're all locking in for the next hour and a half to find some winners for tonight and turning our wagers green? It's really that simple. Okay, we got Juice Crane coming in, resubbing. Hopefully this helps. Yes, sir. Juice Crane, that helps more than you know, my man. That helps more than you know. All right. Gootsy, can we get that wheel up and moving? Can you dust it off for me and see if it's still available? Just let me know. Let me know. Might need some added motivation today, along with no cheese. All right?
I say we see how today goes and we run it tomorrow if need be.
Yeah, I kind of want to spin it, though.
Krabs loves that wheel.
Like, I legitimately want to spin it.
Loves wheel.
Just do me a favor, Gatesy. If you can see if it's still up, let me know. If not, we'll run it tomorrow. But yeah, I deserve a spin, and I want to spin. I want to spin. Okay? Jovan, enough talking about the losers from yesterday. All right, we're going to hop in and talk about some winners for today, plain and simple. Before we do, all right, for our OGs in chat, for the goats who are still around, please do me a favor and click on this survey and fill this out at some point today. Shouldn't take you more than 5 minutes. Okay, we got the link in the Twitch chat, WGoots. Do me a favor, guys. If you care about what we're doing, if you're tapped in, if you're one of the OGs, if you're a rider, fill out this survey and let us know what you want to see more of. Okay, it shouldn't take more than 5 minutes. And we got a good amount yesterday, but would love to see you goats get involved. And we'll drop that link one more time. Okay, appreciate you guys. We got a 5-unit Subaruski coming in from Aloha Bets. That could change the narrative. That could change the narrative today. Aloha, good to see that. Appreciate you, Beast. Your goats. We got Freeze coming in, resubbing as well. Let's get it. 20 months. Freeze believes. Okay.
Sure.
Hype train moving and grooving. Love to see that. Aloha, I'm sure you filled out the survey if you have not already. Please do. I want your opinions on that. Okay? Dubs. Let's hop in. Let's talk about some winners for tonight. All right. Diversified portfolio. Pretty good CBB slate for a Wednesday. Sure, a lot of ball sack states, a lot of mid-majors, but that ain't no problem for us. We got a great CBB slate today. We've got solid NBA slate as well, and a couple NHL games we'll talk about too, Jovan. But if you don't mind, I'll get it started out with some CBB, taking a nasty play back in Tulane on the roads. A team that, sure, they're coming off a win against Tulsa. Great. Congratulations. Anybody could beat Tulsa, and they only won that game by 3. Before that, they lost to Memphis. Jovan, I think we were on them in that game. They were a sharp dog, and they were covering and even winning at times in that contest as well. And then they forgot how to play basketball, very similar to BYU last night. And they didn't even cover that game against Memphis. They ended up actually losing by 12 when they were plus 5.5 dogs in that contest. So Tulane, sure, they're coming off that Tulsa win, but I think we can all agree they're not playing good ball. They've not covered their last 2 games in a row. Thought it was pretty weird seeing them catch steam on the road here in this spot against a UTSA squad that has some bodies, right? They kind of hit the reset button with the roster, brought in guys like Primo Spears, some veterans as well, and they're coming off a big-time outright win, Jovan, against one of the best teams in their conference, North Texas, on the road. They were plus 14.5 dogs, and they won outright. They played great. They played great defense. They held them to 50 points in that contest, but you can make an argument that maybe North Texas's offense really just didn't show up in that contest as well. We know how they lean on their defense. So I want to fade UTSA coming off that big-time outright win against one of the best teams in the conference, and I want to back Tulane, the Green Wave, flip it from a dog to a favorite on the road against a team that they've already smacked this season once, and I think they do it again.
Yeah, I'm down. That UTSA win over North Texas was, I think we talked about it after the fact, that was like one of the most confusing things I've seen so far this year. The fact they kind of played their game better than them and won that game, that was insane. So I'm 100% down to get involved.
Before we move on to your first play, because I'm very eager to hear it, we do have a resub coming in from Dom Smooth, and he's talking about that Kuzma Wizards trade. He said, fuck that Kuzma trade. I'm a Bucks fan crying right now, and y'all got a dog and A.J. Johnson trust. I mean, people are acting like A.J. Johnson's the next LeBron James.
Yeah, literally.
I mean, this is just getting absurd at this point.
I respect A.J. Johnson, but the slurp is a little out of control, I would say.
He's played 40 minutes ever in his NBA career. And we're acting like he's the next LeBron. I don't understand it. I see the potential, I guess. He's a lengthy, guard who's very young and definitely has a high ceiling. Don't get me wrong, but he's also got a low floor. This guy hasn't done shit. And we're all acting like he's going to turn the Wizards around. So I don't get it. But again, I don't get why we're bringing in Chris Middleton, but we're picking up a bad contract to get rid of Kuzma and hopefully get something out of it, right, with this young kid. So I guess it's better than nothing. But now we're sitting here with Valanciunas. We're sitting here with, Chris Middleton, and we got a veteran guard as well. Why do we have all these veterans sitting around? I don't get it. We got Mama Reiki coming in, dropping some resubs. Is that a 10-unit whale? Dude.
W Goat.
Mama Reiki. People forget the Survivor Pool champ. Put some respect on her name.
People do forget that.
W Subbies. 10-piece. Let's go, Mama Reiki. Sure. Dubs. Is Kuzma ass? He's not great, but he also has been playing on the Wizards, so he's probably not too motivated of late. Maybe a trade will get him up and moving again.
Hopefully.
Right?
I mean, cool for the Bucks, I guess. I don't really see why they would shell out to go get, not that they gave up very much with Middleton, but to go get Kuzma, that was your big move to put over the top. That was a little odd to me.
Yeah, I mean, I guess my question is for the NBA goats, for the NBA, lifers, you guys who absolutely live this shit. What are the Wizards doing with Malcolm Brogdon, Valanciunas, and now Chris Middleton? I mean, I know you got to have a couple vets, you got to pay a couple guys, but what are we doing? What are we building over here? I don't get it. Are we supposed to be getting these guys off the team?
2 years.
Yeah, right, at the next deadline? Okay.
Yeah, the next couple deadlines, or they'll be cutting them and getting compensation for it.
Okay. Maybe Chris Middleton.
It's one of the two.
Okay. Maybe Chris Middleton balls out for the next year and we trade him at the next deadline. I don't know. We'll see. He's going to have plenty of opportunities to get his shots up. Gosh. I don't really understand it, but
yeah,
at least we're doing something.
That's all we need.
At least we're doing something. All right. Jovan, let's go to your straight bets. Oh, you have the wheel goods. Fuck. I was hoping you were going to say you couldn't find it. All right, get the wheel up and moving here before we get to Jovan's winners.
Wow,
let's just get it done. Rip the Band-Aid off. Let's get it done. Rip the Band-Aids. Accountability has to be done. Has to be done. Goots, in your opinion, do you think we need to change any of these options here?
No, I think they're good. It's just obviously we used one, so we have 9 here. So we can always get rounded out with 10 if we want to get one more.
All right. Anybody in chat have a punishment, a recommendation they want to add to this wheel before we spin this puppy? Let me know. Now's the time. Can't just say tail Trent. All right. We're already losing enough coins as is. 2 hot chips. Bro, you see what one chip did to me, bro? I was crying on the stream. I don't even know if I would make it. We haven't talked about that chip enough, dude. I mean, I was shivering cold afterwards too. I thought I was going out. Krabs cooking stream. Trell's picks. Golf in a dress, dude. Tail Trell. Why are there so many Tail Trells?
I think it's just Chote, man.
Pull a C-Blaze and full fade your buddy's slip. Nope. I'm good on that one. Tail the Twitter POD for a week. That could be a good one.
Oof. That would be
Tail the Twitter POD for a week.
One.
Let's put that on there, Gootsy. That's a pretty bad punishment if I had to say so.
How do we declare that?
I think the best way to do that is probably when we hop on BTL every day that week. We come to the conclusion that we saw 1 million of the same sharp play, or if everybody's taking the same guy on Prize Picks, could probably go that route as well. But
I feel like we maybe have to do that after the fact, because I feel like it reveals itself over the course of the day.
Yeah. Well,
we put a Twitter poll out there or tweet out there. Say what it is or see what it is.
Sure, we can do that.
Yeah.
All right. Gootsy, you want to run this puppy?
Yeah, let's do it. Spin that puppy.
All right, run it. You should have done how to make a video saying you hope Kelsey proposes.
Oh, yeah.
No, dude.
Yes, sir.
Let's go.
Let's get that puppy up and moving.
To be honest, after that day yesterday, Giovanna's plays, it might be deserved.
Yep.
That is just a horrendous jersey, dude.
3-time MVP jersey, all right?
Just horrendous jersey.
Marquette plus chicken on the road, huh?
Horrendous jersey.
Which one are you gonna get? The black one, the purple one?
Yeah.
I don't know which one. Which one did they wear against the Bills when they ended the season? Okay. Is that white? Because they're on the road. I'm gonna get that one. I'm gonna get that one. Or wait, no. What did they wear when the Chiefs beat them last year in Baltimore? I want that
punishment.
jersey.
It's not.
I want that one.
Chirping them.
I want that one.
It's punishment.
W Goots rig, yes, on the wheel spin. Goots is like a roulette dealer, right? He knows how long to fucking spin it, right? He knows it's in his first rodeo. He knows what's going on here. He knows how to work the wheel. Great work, Goots. Jovan, let me know when it's ordered.
Yeah, let me get a little look see. Ravens Chiefs 2024.
Okay. Jovan, it's supposed to be a punishment.
Get one of those purple ones, the ugly new alternates they got with the weird looking bird.
Those are kind of cool.
No,
I'm not gonna lie.
You could get one of those.
I could get one of those.
All right. Well, we spun the wheel, chat. You guys happy?
See, Spencer Biss knows what's going on. What's so bad about Lamar's jersey?
Oh, they were wearing purple in that. Yeah, I'm gonna get a purple one. Get a purple one moving.
Sure. All right.
Is there an AFC Championship patch that I can get? I'd love that.
I don't think they would.
You want to buy Dave Martinez's Burners Mark Ingram jersey?
I mean, as much as I love Mark Ingram, I don't know if that's a good investment.
Got a signed Ravens Mark Ingram jersey. Hey, that's a Ravens Legends. Wasn't he the guy who said the quote?
He started
outside the bank or whatever.
Yeah, he started Big Trust too. But
Big Trust.
That's Lamar's saying, but Mark started saying it at press conferences.
Mark's a glue guy in the locker room. You could tell.
Glue guy.
You could just tell. All right, get this damn wheel off the screen, please. Please. Get that puppy out of there. Jovan, it's time for some revenge. Start us off.
Sure is. Taking Arkansas today. Which is a crazy one off of that super emotional win. Not a play I would usually take, but I'm sticking to the roots here because talked about it when they were heading into the Kentucky game, and they were playing a lot of softballs leading up to that game, and Kentucky was going through their absolute gauntlet. So like Arkansas was struggling big time, but they went into that game. They dominated, they looked fantastic. They shot the lights out. So did Kentucky until it fell apart a little bit in the second half, and they weren't able to keep up. But Arkansas now gets to go face a Texas team. They just won by 30 on the road as pretty much a pick 'em against LSU in a game that was probably one of their best performances, if not the best performances of the SEC season. I think Texas still sucks. They're a good defensive team. They play slow, but if Trey Johnson's not making shots, they really don't have any sort of direction on offense. Tremont Mark too is like the fallback option. But Arkansas, I think that win at Kentucky starts their season. The players were more excited than Calipari to win that game. And obviously he's not going to show it, but he was literally yelling at them in the tunnel. That was hilarious because they were chirping fans on the way out, which was funny. But I think that started their season. I think going forward, because they play a lot of the tougher teams heading in the SEC, I think they're going to look significantly better. Now they're on the road against a Texas team that always gets line respect at home. So I'm not surprised to see this at all. They've been favored against a lot of ranked teams at home. We've done this time and time again. They had 2 in the last week, or 2 in the same week, just about a week ago. So Arkansas, I think, is going to speed Texas up. A lot of those guards are going to be super aggressive, and this game is going to come down to whether Trey Johnson can hit his shots at the same level that Arkansas is going to hit theirs. And I don't think that's the case, especially when taking Texas out of this speed of the game that they really want to play. So I'm taking them. I think this is a game that comes down to the last possession. We see a super close SEC game. We've seen it time and time again with the big favorites that are, facing teams that are in a letdown spot. So I'm going to continue doing it. It's like the one thing, even when the plays have gone cold, these have been very consistent. So I'm sticking to it.
Maybe Arkansas has their swagger back after that big
time win. I think they do.
Yeah, I mean, if there's any way to reset a season after a terrible start in conference play, it's going on the road and beating Kentucky, your coach's former squad. Yeah. I might do it. What happened to Trevon Brazile, man? That's what I want to know. Like, just kind of doesn't do shit. I'm surprised. Like, when he was a freshman, he was better than he is now, putting up more points at least. What happened to Brazile? They need some of these guys to step up.
I think the SEC is better. Yeah, it's like he was cool because he was like a big athletic 4 that was bullying Mizzou and all of those other super small teams because nobody really had a true dominant big in the SEC for the years past, other than Broome and a handful of others like Sheboy. I don't even know if they overlapped, but other than that, there weren't really many big physical guys. Now there is.
Yeah, he just doesn't play. Can't find the court. All right, Arkansas grabbing the points. Might need them. Look, you're taking a dog. They've been fucking not printing, but they've been coming through in these big spots. And I would not be surprised if we see another close SEC matchup tonight between these two teams. Texas, I don't think it's like that. Arkansas might have some newfound confidence, some mojo, some swagger, if you will, after that big win. I like the play.
Sure.
Right. Goots, let's swing it back around. Got a couple other plays for the peeps. Let's talk about them. Let's go to the NBA real quick. Let me get the T-Wolves tonight. Minus 11.5, laying a big old number in the association. Kind of stuck out to me a little bit. They're playing a Bulls team that's looked much better of late. They've won 3 of their last 5. They're coming off a big-time outright win in their last game against the Heat. Sorry, Jovan, but they beat them outright in that last contest. But the Bulls have played a lot of basketball over the last couple nights. I think they played 3 games in the last 5 days or something like that. The T-Wolves, on the other hand, they're coming off of 2 atrocious losses. They lost to the Wizards, and then you think they bounce back in that next game. Everybody did. All the sharps were on them, laying a minus 4.5 against the Kings, and they lost that game outright. So back-to-back games as favorites, losing outright. They're home in this one. The squares on Prize Picks make me think maybe we see Anthony Edwards dropping a 30-burg in this contest, maybe more. Wouldn't be shocked. Some of the other guys in the T-Wolves, their squares are looking like they're poised for some big nights against the Bulls, a team that's played much better of late. You could even make an argument that they look like the better squad right now, but we all know the T-Wolves, especially after the run last year in the postseason, much better than they've looked the last couple of nights. I want to back them laying a big old number tonight.
Sure. Get some Ant legacies. Why don't we?
Sure.
Or Rudy, I guess, because Vooch ain't guarding Rudy.
Let's swing it around, Jovan. What other straight bet you got for the peeps? You're heading to the NBA as well.
Yeah, heading to the NBA, taking the Pistons, which, again, something I usually probably wouldn't do because you have the Cavs just losing to the Celtics last night. That was one of the rare greens that were in the book last night. And they're in a bounce back spot, technically, even though they're off a back-to-back. I wouldn't rule out somebody sitting for the Cavs. I guess we'll find that out from now until tip, whether it's Garland, whether it's Mobley, whether it's D-Mitch, who the hell knows. There's probably going to be something up with this game, but I don't care because this feels like a get-over-the-hump game for the Pistons. They've been playing fantastic ball. I know it's been a little inconsistent. They're not as hot as they once were, but they've been playing fantastic. They just lost to the Hawks in what was a super high-scoring game. You go back a couple weeks, they played the Cavs in a game that was probably their worst offensive output they had for almost the entire season. They held the 91 points. Really, nobody did anything except for Duren and Cade in those games. So they kept them relatively one-dimensional. The thing that has been so good about them in this stretch, sans that game, is they've been able to get it from a lot of people, whether it's Cade facilitating a lot, which he's been able to do against, the last couple teams he's faced that are a lot different than the Cavs, more high pace, super spread out team. So it's kind of farming him for assists. This game is a little different because he's going to have to win one-on-one battles, but I'm absolutely fine with that. His Pistons team has been in search of a couple big wins to really make that statement that they're going to be here, here to stay heading into the playoffs here. And I think they're going to be a team that I will target in the playoffs, but they've gotten a couple of them. I think this is the next one they get. The Cavs, I don't believe, have lost back-to-back games at all this season, minus that really weird stretch. I think one of them was in the NBA Cup and one of them was not. Correct me if I'm wrong, chat, when they played the Hawks. The Hawks, for whatever reason, play them ridiculously well. So I think this is one of the rare times I'm going to back something like that to happen again. I think they're not only gassed, but you got a little bit of a blueprint if you're the Celtics, who didn't really stick to their normal game plan last night. They shot a lot of threes, sure, but they did a lot more at the rim than I kind of thought they're going to be able to in that game. And I think that's perfect for, Cade to facilitate happening in this game. So give me the Pistons to potentially pull the full upset.
I think I saw in chat from Aloha, if they win today, they cash their season win total.
Do it really?
Isn't that something?
I guess, yeah, that makes sense. They're rolling.
I mean, yeah, who would have thought the Pistons would be 500 at this point? Probably not a single soul, right? Except for maybe
I think
SBR
we all thought they were going to be better, but not this good.
Yeah, SBR is juiced up in chat right now. He's saying this is a Pistons splooge fest, I hear. Yes.
WSBR.
You caught the tail end of it, SBR. Good. All right, grabbing the Pistons, fading the Cavs. No way they lose 2 in a row. Well, the Pistons have looked pretty solid this season and coming off a loss. Backing them at home, grabbing some points. Maybe we see the Cavs rest in the star or two. Wouldn't be shocked, like you called it last time. All right. Grabbing the dog at home. Pistons.
Sure.
And I'm excited to hear that Duke sell job, but we'll come back.
I feel like what the sell job is there to some degree, Krabs.
We'll come back. I'm very excited to talk about that game. I got one more straight bet for the peeps. Somebody get Mikey on the line. We got Providence playing some basketball tonight. They're home. They stink, but they're winning tonight because they got magical powers at home. That's what we know about Providence. They're getting 3.5 points tonight at home against Red Hot Creighton. I think they hand Creighton a loss tonight. I might even have a sprinkle in the ML as well. We know what Providence does at home. They're sitting right now at 11-11. They've lost 3 of their last 5 games. They welcome in a Creighton team who's on fuego, one of the hottest teams in basketball, not just winning, but covering as well. And they're 13-8-1 against the spread this season. Quietly one of the most profitable teams in college basketball. I'll fade Creighton. I'll back Providence at home, getting a handful of points. They usually play Creighton pretty well. These teams usually split. The games are usually pretty tight. And at Providence, coming off a loss to St. John's, where they played pretty well. They fought hard. They lost by 2 in that contest. They showed me enough to back them again at home. And I think they might even win this one outright.
Yeah, that line, even with Providence, as good as they are at home, as good as they've been in years past, but even like this year, it seems like it reeks a little bit. They're just getting so many points in the garden, dude, to the point where like I was talking with Mikey about it. I texted him about it. Not that I expected a different response than for him to say it's the Friars, but I was like, it's got to be the Friars, dude. It's just so many points. It's scary. And what do you know? Legacy comeback to whittle it down to a game that needed a buzzer beater. So I'd be down to do it again.
We got a first-time chatter coming in asking the right questions. Trev Malone. Over Creighton, though. He's a little bit scared to fade Creighton. Yeah, I get it. I get the hesitations, but we know how tough it is to play in this conference on the roads. We have seen Creighton already drop 3 games this season on the roads. Wouldn't be shocked if they drop another one here. They're playing really well. I think that spread is a pretty good indicator of how this game's going to play out. I think it goes down to the last possession. And again, it's just chaos up there in Providence at the dunk. And this game, either way, whether it's Providence down to the wire or Creighton up a bucket, it's going to get down to that last possession.
Yeah, I'm in for that.
Seen it. When we talk season-long MLB, we should have more squares out post-Super Bowl. So pretty soon, guys, around a week probably, we'll start talking about those squares. We also have a NFL Super Bowl pods that we're going to record later today and put out for you guys either later tonight or tomorrow to get you guys ready for the Super Bowl. Okay, if you guys want prize pick squares, touchdown scores, best bets, cheeky props, you name it, we're about to talk about it. All right. I hope Providence is a squad ride so I can fade and take my Blue Jays on the roads. Money talks. Good luck, my man. See how that plays out. Jovan, you got one more straight bet for the peeps. Let's talk about Duke laying a big old number on the roads.
Yeah. So elephant in the room is the spot, because I don't usually like those either, because they're coming off the UNC game and then they got Clemson hanging on Saturday. But when you give me this line, I'm going to take it, especially when I got to turn my basketball brain on a little bit. Duke, sorry. I was reading Houston in the chat. You know who they have in the paint, Krabs? So they got 2 guys. They got Cooper Flag and they got Malawak. You know who Syracuse has in the paint?
Yeah, they got your buddy. Your best bud.
Who is horrendous. Horrendous. You want to talk about one of the best, I guess, things we've done so far this, even that it wasn't on like Sharp Report or anything, but you already know what he did to Eddie Lampkin, and that was with foul trouble. That was with the game, getting weird to the point where he didn't even need to play for a majority of the second half. He destroyed him for the entirety of that game. What do you think? Malawak's probably going to see him the most, but Cooper Flag, who is guarding either of them in the paint offensively? Like, Duke is going to be able to do whatever they want, and it's good because they're on the road, obviously, so it's a different environment, weird like shooting atmosphere like it always is there. You're not going to have to shoot because Eddie Lampkin's going to be cookie. They're going to put him in the pick and roll just like every single team does, and I hope they play him off the floor. That'll be fantastic. But even if they don't, that's just more points for Duke at the rim. They're going to have whatever they want at the rim, and offensively, you got the tallest team in the country in Duke, a stout defense. You have absolutely no choice but to pull out some ridiculous shooting performance if you're Syracuse to keep yourselves in this game. And can it happen? Sure. It's not impossible, especially when they're being at home. But I'm going to take my chances that Duke is going to lay the clamps defensively in this team. It's not like there's some piss poor 3-point defense either. They are an elite defense at every single level, and you can't get to the paint. You can't get anything effectively there. And Eddie has been like their bailout shot in a lot of these possessions lately when they're getting clamped up by really good defenses. Have fun being bailed out against Malawak and Cooper Flag in the paint, because that ain't going to work. So I think it's Duke by murder tonight.
You don't think the freshman Donnie Freeman can hang around?
No, dude. No, dude.
The DC Absolutely product from St. John's?
Absolutely not.
Yeah, it'd be pretty tough, although that kid's pretty good as a freshman. Only 6'9". They got him. They got Eddie Lampkin, who is a fat slob, not even 7 feet. Is he 6'11"?
Yeah. He just has cement feet, dude.
All right. I guess maybe he is 6'11", but I thought he was on the shorter end. I mean, Duke should have their way in the paint. We'll see if they can get it done.
Yeah. Don't forget they have Malik Brown back too now. I mean, pretty sure he was ACC depoy. So, like, he's coming off the bench. Have fun, dude.
Yeah, I mean, this is a gigantic number in conference. I don't care if it's Duke. Syracuse has been playing well of late. So they're not winning, but they're covering.
Certainly
They ripped off 5 straight covers in a row. And they just beat Cal on the road in their last game, all the way out there across the country.
No GG Krabs. GG Krabs. Just like that. He mentions Cal and literally explodes. Unbelievable, man. You can't make it up. Sloan back in. Maybe, maybe not. But yes, we need some Duke legacies tonight. And I would advise taking Cooper Flag something. Yeah, let's go to some squares, dude. I probably would have Cooper Flag up here if I was able to. There's Krabs.
Hands. Bruh. Can you hear me or no?
I can hear you. Blurry cam. Sorting itself
Blurry
out
cam.
there.
Come on now, Cam.
Get active. Get active.
Now, Cam. What are we doing?
Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable, dude.
Look, Syracuse is playing well right now. Oi, W chat, we're back. Syracuse is playing well. They're playing good ball. That spread is a pretty good indicator of how this game's probably going to play. You just got to hope JJ Starling does not go nuclear and drop a 20 berg. And if he does not, feel pretty good about Duke winning by 20.
Sure.
I'm in.
Need it.
I'm in. Virginia Tech spread, Krabs. There it is. From Rover and chat. No. How about no? Jovan? Hokies?
I thought about it. Still might think about it. We can talk about the game in a bit. I do want to get your expanded thoughts. We do have some squares, Krabs.
Plus 5.5 is just ridiculous. But
yeah, it does look very enticing, though. I'm not gonna lie.
It's a tough place to play down there in Blacksburg.
Castle.
Tough place to shoot the basketball. People always be bitching about shooting in Castle. All right. Let's just get right to it. Cut the shit. We got your squares up here. We got Palo up there. A triple bagel system, folks. These do not grow on trees. Listen up. Jovan's going to tell you why he's banging 2 tonight.
And truthfully, I mean, there's 2 double bagels on the board today. So I don't really even want to put them up there unless I'm super confident in them hitting, because obviously you guys know that I'm taking them because the squares are up on the board. I'm posting about them, whatever. So I have a bunch of other squares, but I needed this one up here, not just because it's a triple bagel, but because it's a beautiful matchup. Once again, much better than the one they had a couple days ago in the Warriors, because he's up for it again. Obviously, the odds are the same if it's the whole same system, but he gets to play the Kings, which the Warriors were a fine matchup for him, more so to score like in the paint and just kind of do it all. But against the Kings, that's where you get a lot of threes, both above the breaks and in the corners, but they're vulnerable to everyone who's playing the 3 and the 4. And told you this before the stream, Krabs. You remember your old friend from, 2 days ago, who you took with 9 fingers and he turned into Steph Curry?
How could I forget 9-finger Nas?
9-finger Nas. He ain't the only one. I don't even know how many threes he had in that game. He ended with 30 points. A lot of that was from behind the arc, but he ain't the only one. Go back to what the Kings were doing against the weird OKC team that they're throwing out there. Lou Dort came out and he was playing the floor. You know how many threes he had? He had 6 threes. This is a thing that the Kings do religiously. This is where their defense has a significant hole. So if we're talking about where guys are going to get their points for the Magic, especially when they've been struggling mightily, like heading into the All-Star break, which I don't think is really going to stop. But if you're looking to stop the bleeding, there is a clear spot to get the Band-Aid against the Kings, and it's by your 3s and your 4s strapping up from 3. So Paolo will be finally having a bounce-back game where he nails 2. You know the volume's going to be there with Paolo. It always is. Just a matter of if he's going to shoot tour dates or not. I dare you to take the less than on the square, because he is hitting 2 tonight.
He fucking better, man. He better.
Yes.
Austin Rendy's coming in, resubbing. W's. Appreciate that. Sharing the wealth. Proud of things. Getting blessed up with a tier 1 subby. Love to see it. Love to see it. Poor Krabs could have symptoms of PTSD if we bring up Naz Reid. So yeah, I thought about just spite fading him today. But then I took the Timberwolves. And I thought that'd be kind of weird too. But they got a 3 square up for 9-finger Nas tonight. And I mean, I would not be shocked if that goes less than, to be honest
Probably
with you.
will.
After a legacy performance. Okay. Jovan, Cooper Flag is up for 23.5 points, 3.5 assists, 7.5 rebounds, 1.5 threes. What's the move? If you were to take Cooper Flag today, how would you want to back him?
It's PRA. Never want to make it too complicated with Cooper Flag a majority of the time.
Okay. The whole shebang?
Yeah.
You want it all?
Yeah,
Okay.
always. I know Snowman always leads that charge. He's been nuking Cooper Flag every game. He's been making coin. And today I would do no different.
Green. All right. Let's hear why Nick Richard rebounds is green.
Yeah, he's playing OKC. So like against a lot of these smaller teams, which like OKC is going to have Hartenstein in there, so he's going to be battling with him. But a lot of these teams that are smaller, sans, the one center they throw out there, his one job is to get rebounds. He's never, obviously he's the big man, so that's his job no matter what. But if you pay attention, he sits really, really in the key pretty much for the entirety of these matchups where you're going to have to get some advantage around the boards, and that's your biggest edge in the game. So like we've seen it in a handful of games, whether it's these matchups that he's had recently are a little bit tougher because if you look at what he's done against some of these other teams, like outside of really one game, which the one game just happened to be the Warriors, which is the same exact story. He has games against Ayton where he struggles a little bit, but again, early in the game, the focus is for him to stay near the key, get the boards. You got games against Rudy Gobert, much tougher matchup. You got games against Zubac, much tougher matchup. But when you play the smaller teams, he knows he's in there for one specific purpose. He is not leaving the paint. He will let them have shots to the outside. He will let them be in the pick and roll. He will play drop coverage. So this is exactly what he needs to do in this matchup when you're playing a Thunder team that not only is going to shoot plenty of threes, not only is going to have plenty of SGA ISO ball, but I don't want to say you're not at the threat for Hartenstein to go out there and drop 20, but I think he's going to be fine with the whole team would be fine with letting him have those shots if he really wants them off the pick and roll. So I think Nick Richards is going to be perched in the paint this entire game.
Doesn't hurt that the chart is pretty red as well.
Yeah. I mean, you're definitely always getting a little bit of an OKC tax because they're pretty small. So like it makes sense, but yes.
Okay. Love those two squares. WSL jobs. Going back to Paolo. Can't stop thinking about it. Can't stop looking at it. All right. Good. See, why don't we swing it around, see what squares I'm crafting up for the peeps. And I will drop the Sharp Report format in the Twitch chat as well right now. If you want to get involved, there's the link. Boom. Okay. Going one square play, and I'm taking one mid-major GOAT who you might not have heard of. And if you haven't yet, you got to get more locked into CBB because this kid's a stud. We'll save that for the end, though. We'll go over the square play first. Anthony Edwards, not coming off his best game, right? Coming off kind of a poor shooting performance, shot like 35% from the field. I want to back him to go nuclear tonight. I want to back him to take over. Last game, the guy to take over for the T-Wolves when they needed him most, it was nine-figure Nas, like we talked about before. Tonight, after back-to-back losses, I think they go back to their GOATs. I want to take Anthony Edwards more than 30 points tonight on Prize Picks. I think he's dropping a 35 piece. I'm not even worried about the blowouts. I think if they blow him out, it's because of him. He's the one putting the ball in the hoop. I like his threes. I like his points. And I want to fade the Bulls, and I like points in this game as well. Total's moving up 1.5. I think that's because the T-Wolves absolutely smack them, and you see Anthony Edwards bounce back after a poor game.
A lot of points to be taken when you're taking minus 11.5, Krabs.
A lot of points.
It's a lot of points.
Hey, somebody's got to put them up by 11, by 12, by 15.
Fair enough.
It's going to be him.
Yep. Can live with that.
And then Donovan Dent. Look, I don't know what exactly the award's called, but best point guard in the country, the top 10 finalists came out a couple days ago. Donovan Dent was left off that list, Jovan. Thought that was pretty disrespectful. He's having one hell of a season. Not a lot of people talk about it enough because he's, playing on New Mexico, but this kid's a stud and he is a top 10 point guard in the country, if not a top 5 point guard in the country. Just watch this kid play. He's an absolute beast. And I want to back him tonight to go off. I'll take his points and assists just in case he turns into prime Chris Paul in a game where I think New Mexico shows up, shows out, and covers a big number they're laying against Colorado State. I lean that way on the spreads. I thought it was pretty weird seeing them lay that big number against a team that's relatively evenly matched. Both teams have ripped off 4 straight wins in a row, but the Lobos have already beaten Colorado State once this season. That's probably why they're getting some respect on that spreads. But I think if they're putting up that big number, if they're covering and winning by 10 plus, Donovan Dent is going out there to prove something tonight and showing the world that he belonged to be on that list. And going against Nick Clifford, another really good guard as well, who you could say maybe got snubbed from that list too. I'll take Donovan Dent and co. at home, laying a big old number on his points and assists to be diamond and to be splashing threes as well. This kid's a beast.
Yeah, definitely down with the square. Don't know if I'm with you on the game, but the square I can certainly get down with. Back in some Donovan Dent.
Donovan Dent's him. You might see him
literally him.
To be honest with you, in a year or two. Wouldn't be shocked.
Yeah, he's good.
All right. Well, I locked in the Sharp Report format. If you guys want to get involved, I will drop the link one more time in the chat. Okay, if you want to tail that 4-piece, get involved. Reported missing combo square crabs last seen in the DMV area wearing Mendez once. Okay. Bro, they don't got any cool combos up. They don't got any
they
cool
haven't put up
prospect specials
combos
categories up.
in a while.
Trust me, I've been looking. I wish they did. Hi, Krabs. Will you let me buy your cooking lessons? I should be paying you to give you cooking lessons, brother. You don't need those.
That needs to be discussed, Krabs. No, we're literally on freshman college diet.
Bro, I have not earned good food. I've not earned a real meal. Not with the stretch of bets, not with the stretch of squad routes.
Not even a little seasoning, though.
We got seasoning on there.
We got a so minimal. Packet. So minimal.
No nukes Q, Krabs?
No, we're not getting any nukes Qs until we earn a Goots. You kidding me?
That's a premium. That's a premium meal right there.
No. All right. W prize pick squares. We can spend some time talking a little bit more about those as well. I think now, Jovan, maybe we can go over some of these CBB games that we haven't gotten to already. All right. Cooking with Krabs and hearing him say the food looks like brains. I mean, it did. It looked like brains. All right. Let's move. Let's groove. Let's talk about these other CBB games. And Jovan, I want your thoughts on the Hokies. Big game tonight. Night game. 9 p.m. You don't see these late starts often in Castle. This will be past a lot of the locals' bedtimes. So who knows if the arena will be filled up. But SMU's coming to town. Playing some pretty good ball, Jovan. And as a non-biased onlooker at the spreads, I'd say it's pretty ridiculous. Looking at the season the Hokies have had, looking at how SMU's played of late, and seeing VT only getting +5.5, right?
Yeah, I kind of thought the opposite, which is why I was a little concerned. So I wanted to take the Hokies. In my heart, I want to take the Hokies, and I want them to be the team that, I don't know, last couple games I've leaned them and haven't gotten to the counter between the Virginia game and the FSU game. They've come through, but in my head, I know Miami gets a lot of line respect, but I can't stop seeing SMU being at the same exact number at Miami, thinking this VT team that's pulled off 2 straight upsets on the road, getting that same number just about is a little disrespectful. So I'm a little worried.
You thought they'd be laying like 3 or 2.5?
Yeah, I thought it would be a little closer to like a basket.
I mean, SMU is like borderline a ranked team.
I know. They're really good. I respect SMU a lot.
Yeah. I know the Hokies are coming off of 2 big games, but, I mean, they're rat shit. I don't know. Maybe I'm just biased from earlier on in the season, but they do look like a new team after those last couple.
I'm just not even the Miami. Like the Miami game, they're laying, I guess, 6 in that game. But they also went to NC State, who was horrendous, and they were laying 2.5, 3. 5.5 in Castle. Just there's something off about that. I would love for it to be VT, and I'm not getting to the counter with SMU, but I can't. It feels weird.
It's a tough place to play down there in Blacksburg at Castle.
Yeah.
Games get weird. Look, when I was there, they were actually kind of solid, and we beat Duke, we beat UNC, we beat all the best teams. Times have changed, but maybe Castle's got some magic left in it for tonight.
I'll be hoping.
Butler and Seton Hall. Let's get these Moose Shit games out of the way here. Butler laying 3.5. This is kind of where I wanted to take that angle and just fade the Moose Shit team at home and take the road favorite. Catching a little bit of steam here. I feel like this is where I'm putting my SMU brain on. And I want to take Butler here, laying 3.5 against Seton Hall, who I just think is actually that bad. I think this team is that bad. And typically, I'd be on Seton Hall here in the midst of a losing streak at home, with the popular coach who everybody thinks is good, but I really don't think he's that great. I think it's Butler here. And I think talent wins this game, to be honest with you. I think the Seton Hall team in the NIL era just simply doesn't have enough juice. I want Butler on the road.
Yeah, I won't tell you anything different.
We got another Pega Auto Tail coming in. Bro.
Wow, Pega Auto Tail Rivers.
That's a lot of channel points, Pega.
Last one hit. Last one went well.
It did. For the vibes, I'm requesting a 2-piece. Wow. Arsenal, Newcastle, over 2.5, and Milan, Roma, both teams to score.
Wow. Let me get to that.
I'd love to hear Jovan's thoughts on that. And while we pull that up, am I seeing Prize Picks is live in Maryland now? Goots.
Wow.
Are you seeing this in chat?
No chance.
I'm seeing a chat right now from ATV 1 of 1. Prize Picks live in Maryland now. I'm tailing everything Goots. Or I'm tailing everything boys.
I don't see
Sorry,
a tweet or
I got
anything.
Goots on my mind. I got Goots on their minds. On my mind.
I don't see a tweet or anything.
No way.
Maybe fire up that puppy. See if it's working. Huh. Definitely would love some confirmations from chat as to where they found that out. But hopefully that's true.
That
Jovan,
is
I guess we could circle
huge.
back. Yeah, that could be huge.
Huge for the
circle back to that Pega auto tail. What do you think about those two plays?
Oh, I think it's what's the one that they have in Florida, Jovan? What's it called?
Arena.
Yeah,
Arena.
I think that's what
Arena.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's not that much different. It's just there's no flex plays. It's like it's all power plays. Like when I'm here, I only do 2 pieces and 4 pieces for the most part.
There's no board or anything.
There's no board.
No.
You can't see anything.
I mean, it's just they just put a bunch of players together for me. I can't click NBA or anything.
Huh. Interesting. So that's not the same as here.
I'll keep looking.
Yeah, keep looking. Get tapped, man. Get tapped.
Let's look at some of these other CBB games. I guess we could take a peep at that soccer.
I don't really have any crazy thoughts because these are cup games, they're league games. Carabao Cup and Coppa Italia. So I'm just trusting. I'm punching it in.
Okay. Looks like we've got Arsenal Newcastle over 2.5. Let me pull this up and lock it in as well. Over 2.5. Arsenal. And then we've got Milan and Roma. Both teams to score. All right.
There it is. Plus 177.
Yeah, plus check. All right. Pega, I'm locked in for 0.4 units, $100. I tailed it. Same as last time. All right. W's.
Go.
We have a double bagel, Julian Hammond, 3-point made square of Jovan. Comments, thoughts, concerns.
Did see that. He was a sneak double bagel. I think it was against Oklahoma State a couple weeks ago, and I sneak got involved. I was on a weekend, and I just kind of let it be. So I might have to be back involved, especially if they played TCU. TCU defended them super well, ran them off the line. Probably not going to have that happen today.
We're going to see Colorado somehow get their first conference win tonight on the road in Utah. The way the college basketball season's gone, I wouldn't be surprised.
I wouldn't be surprised at all. I'm not going to be paying to find out, but I do think it's Colorado.
Okay. Looks like you only have Prize Pick streaks, Gootsy. Is that what you're working with over there? I don't know. We'll figure that out. We'll figure that out afterwards.
I just picked Curry less than PRA. It's my pick of the day. That's all I got.
All right. Let's keep moving and grooving here. There is another mid-major game that I want to talk about. The spread is moving and grooving. George Mason, George Washington. I'm talking about this game. George Mason coming in, first place in conference, playing great ball this season. Really good team, led by Darius Maddox, former Hokie beast. Dude does not belong in that conference, I'll say it. George Washington, though, they got off to a nice start this season, Jovan, but they have been struggling of late. They've dropped 3 of their last 5 games. They're coming off a loss in their last game, a game they probably should have won at LaSalle, a game that, at least where I hold George Washington in my brain, I'd expect them to win that game. They're coming off a bad loss to LaSalle on the roads. I want to back them at home and fade George Mason, who's been an absolute wagon in this conference all season, and the spread's down to 2 as well. Could this be a plus chicken George Washington play?
Just might be. And to be honest, talking about games they should have won, that George Mason game, that was a couple weeks ago? They also should have won. That double OT game that I couldn't tell you how George Mason won that game, especially with how poorly they shot from 3. This could absolutely be a lick back spot.
We got Phils and Mush in the chat. W, gents. What's up, boys?
And Trent spawns to gravel for nugs. Unbelievable.
Sure.
Unbelievable.
Hope you guys are doing well. W's. Yeah, Jovan, I want to take George Washington here. This is a battle of two former Hokies. You got Darren Buchanan leading the Revolutionaries. You got Darius Maddox leading the Patriots. This one's going to be good.
Talking about him like it's a Civil War battle, Krabs.
I mean, that's their mascot. I didn't make them up. That's their mascots. I'm just reading off the screen. The Patriots versus the Revolutionaries. If you're not betting that game, you just don't give a hoot. Lock in. It's got to be G-Dub at home plus chicken.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Let's keep moving and grooving here. You can tell Jovan is just ecstatic to bet G-Dub tonight. We'll move on from that one.
Yeah, I'm joining you. I'm tailing.
What about Oregon and Michigan? Seen some people getting sharp on the Ducks. I wouldn't mind joining them.
I would not mind it at all either. So, I mean, they ideally want to turn it into a 3-point shooting competition, which Michigan, I don't want to say they're not built for that because, like, they can. They're not incapable of it, but obviously they want everything to run through the bigs, both of them. And not only do they have a tougher matchup against Biddle, even though I know he's been a little slippery as of late, has not been incredibly, I don't know, physical in the paint at some times, scoring. He's been a little inconsistent, but they want to force the game to be one on the outside anyway. It's like I think it certainly could be. Again, one of those bigger spread games with a large home favorite that ends up going down to the wire. I would not hate that at all.
Give me the Ducks. I think Michigan's a bunch of frauds. When they get nervous, when games are tight, Danny Wolf starts turning the ball over. That team stinks.
They are frauds, but
they're frauds.
Not nearly the fraudulent level of their state counterpart over there, Michigan State.
Yep.
Good performance yesterday in a loss.
Yeah. How about UCLA grinding one out? How about Mick Cronin saying all my players are pieces of shit, and now they've won 6 games in a row?
Yeah. I mean, it's all you got to do is let Michigan State play a team that has any sort of pulse, any sort of physicality, and shocker, they're not that good.
Yeah, you could make an argument that Oregon's a bunch of frauds as well. They were ranked not too long ago. I don't disagree, Putz. But could be a good time to buy low on the Ducks, who have been playing, I mean, just atrociously. And you can kind of sell high on Michigan here. Winners of 3 of their last 4 games.
Yeah.
Hasn't been pretty, but they've been winning. It's got to be the Ducks. Give me the points. You're probably going to need them. All right. What other CBB games, CBB matchups are we eyeing for tonight? How about Mizzou and Tennessee? Do you want to take a stab at the Tigers, or is their luck run out?
I really don't have any interest in fading Mizzou, period. Especially when, again, I know it's the same formula of the plays where it's a somewhat obvious bounce back spot. In this case, it's not in the sense that Tennessee lost the game because they put up a really good performance, especially defensively, but I can only assume we don't have all the injury news, but they're missing half their team and did that against Florida. Sakai Ziegler might be back. Milicic might be back, just like the late injury news that happened in the Florida game. I would not be surprised if we get more of it in this game. So I certainly don't want to be backing Tennessee when that happens, especially when Sakai Ziegler, I mean, I'm going to call it what it is. He's not very good. I don't know what the slurp comes through. He's a decent playmaker, of course. He puts up assist numbers, but if you've watched Tennessee with and without him on the court, it's not the same difference you would expect from this, I don't know, generational point guard that we've been glazing for no reason, dude. I'm so out on Sakai Ziegler, but
he was better before his leg exploded.
Yeah, and I mean, I was gonna say, I know he's gotten injured, and that's played a little bit in his play style, but it's hard to watch sometimes. He doesn't look as composed. He forces a lot of uncomfortable shots. He spaces the floor a little weirdly sometimes, which doesn't help Chaz and does not help Milicic, and I mean, really doesn't help any of the big guys. He can't find them on the roll either. So, like, as good as a facilitator as he is, I mean, he still misses some very obvious play style. Like, I saw a tweet the other day. It was like, how is the Sakai Ziegler narrative gotten this far to the point of where he made the Bob Cousy list? And I'm like, I don't know, dude. So there's so many better point guards.
Yeah, he's lost his step. His freshman year, he was quick. ACL exploded on the court, and ever since then, he's kind of been slow. And I feel like that's affected his game. You know, his brother still plays on St. Pete's. was watching him the other night against the Mounts. Yeah, he's their best player by far. Still plays on St. Pete's.
Yep. Interesting.
Mm-hmm. All right. I like Mizzou in that spot. I'd rather play Oregon than Mizzou. And the more I look at that Oregon game, the more I'm liking it. But I still would lean the Tigers there and fade in Tennessee off that big time fraudulent win, where I don't know how the hell they did it with all those illnesses and sicknesses, but could be a good time to fade and grab the points with Mizzou, who I still don't think the books have gotten hip to yet.
Yeah.
When it comes to line respect. I mean, 9.5 points with how good that team's looked of late. Come on.
Yeah. And maybe it has to do with Ziegler and or Igor coming back, and somebody knows. But I mean, that Tennessee that was the worst game of basketball of all time. And they held Florida of all teams to 44 points. I know Walter Clayton got hurt, so that played a part in it too. But total's moving up. That does not lean into Tennessee, in my opinion, at all. That's not a hot take. Missouri is going to try and speed them up as much as they can.
Picks with Deej wants to fade Caleb Grill tonight. Now that I could get behind.
I mean, yeah, absolutely.
Probably the greenest chart on Prize Picks. Okay. Another mid-major game, Jovan, that caught my eye. Northern Iowa laying 3.5 points to Missouri State. Missouri State, another scrappy team at home in this conference, but they've not been good this season. 8-15. They were on a crazy losing streak. They finally ripped off a win in that last game, put it all together, and beat Murray State, who's not very good, but at least they're coming off a win there. They have been covering games as well. Missouri State, they've only not covered one game in their last 5. But they welcome in a Northern Iowa team who gets line respect. They're a much better team, 14-9, their record at this point. Thought they'd be laying some more points on the road here in this spot, but I guess that is a tough place to play. Missouri State, pretty good home squad over the years. Maybe we grab the points? Or do you not think this line is as weird as I do?
I don't think it's too weird, especially considering like a lot of the tougher teams to play in the conference, like Missouri State's also covered against, even though they didn't win all of these games necessarily. And I know Murray State's not the Murray State of old. They haven't been good this year, but they get line respect like they do. They covered that game. They covered against Drake when they're, at home plus 8.5. They lost by 7. Like a lot of these better teams, they've been putting up good performances against, minus, I guess, UNI. They barely didn't cover that first matchup. So I would still lean them just for that fact alone, but it does seem maybe a little comfortable.
Yeah, I probably won't play it, but I certainly lean Missouri State. Another mid-major game here that caught my eye, Duquesne-Richmond. Man, I feel bad for the Spiders. This team is actually that bad. I mean, they just got obliterated. Absolutely obliterated by VCU. That has to be the bottom. That has to be as low as it gets for the Spiders. Now they return home. They play just as equally as bad of a program who has a coach that I simply do not believe in. I'm taking Coach Mooney at Richmond over this new Duquesne coach 10 times out of 10. It's not even close. So I kind of want to take the Spiders here at home, getting a couple points. But I wanted to ask you, are you scared off potentially here with Duquesne up to -3 on the road?
I mean, the live move in it isn't really what scares me. I think Richmond sucking at basketball is what scares me. I mean, I'll let you have that one to yourself, Krabs. That game is horrid.
Yeah, I just want to back Coach Mooney Spiders at home. I think they get it done. This will be one of those plays we don't take and talk about again, and Richmond's going to win by 10 outright.
Yeah, it could be.
Yeah. What other CBB games are looking weird? How about ECU laying 7.5 points against a Rice team that's not winning games, but they've been covering games. Remember they almost beat Memphis the other night? And then before that, I mean, they hung around against USF and covered that game as well. Thought this was a pretty big number for ECU to be laying, even if they're home.
I could respect that. I don't know. They've been playing pretty good ball too, minus that insane game against Temple that had like 300 points. So, I don't hate it, but I don't love it either.
You want to talk about Cincy and UCF?
Yeah, could talk about that game.
Cincy, I mean, we don't talk about this enough. We probably should roast this team more, but there really aren't more teams that respect coins less than the Bearcats.
Yeah.
I mean, this team, they stink. They stink. Another season of hype, another season of hope for the Bearcats. And they've lost 4 games in a row. They haven't covered a game in a month. They're 7-14 against the spreads. Who is setting these lines? It must be alumni. who clearly believe in the program, and they never actually end up panning out. The results are never there for Cincinnati. Could this be another spot we take UCF catching a little bit of steam here at home? They're not playing great either.
Yeah, give me the Bearcats one more time, Krabs.
Okay.
One more time.
Okay.
Has to be done.
Dudes. That's a solo mesh.
Yeah, you have your Richmond. I have my Cincy.
That's a solo mesh. Money habits. What's up, Beast? Dubs. Yeah, Pax picks. I think the soul got sucked out of his body, just like me at the same time when Jovan said that. Brutal.
Rightfully so.
Brutal. Man, Cincy, bro.
I think at the very least, this is the best I expect their offense to look or have looked in the past handful of weeks. Because, they played a super slow West Virginia team that I think matches up with them pretty well. They played a Utah team that essentially, I don't know, just makes you get assisted threes, which is not Cincinnati's game. Played a BYU team who wanted to make them run in transition, not their game. They played Texas Tech, who's no middle. They played Arizona State, who was probably the most similar to UCF, except they can run a little faster and do it faster against UCF, which is the thing. So, I think this is the best matchup they've had out of all the teams in the past couple of weeks. So I'm hoping this is the time.
Could they? I will not be finding out.
I respect you not finding out.
Can't. Another weird game, the Norse. I know we've already been hurt by the Norse once this season. At least I have. They're welcoming in Cleveland State, Jovan, the hottest team in their conference. The Norse, sure, they just beat Oakland on the road in their last game, but before that, they couldn't sniff a win. Thought it was weird seeing them flip from a dog to a fave here at home. Definitely lean Northern Kentucky.
Yeah, I think line tells all on that one. Wouldn't hate you for adding that to the card.
You got any thoughts on Louisville, Boston College?
Yeah, which maybe it's a little different because, I don't know, they're on the road, but this is the exact type of situation, like I said, I've been trying to avoid. The obvious bounce back spot with the double-digit favorite when Louisville just lost a crazy game to Georgia Tech. I don't know how they dropped that game, but then you have on the other side BC, who had the miracle win. Again, don't know how they pulled off that incredible upset in the last second with all that madness against Florida State. So, is anybody really taking Boston College here? No, I don't really think so. It's just so overwhelmingly obvious on this Louisville bounce back that I don't know if I can take it. I won't be fading because I don't want to fade Pat Kelsey. It's not an Indiana situation, but can't get involved either.
I kind of want to fade Coach Kelsey in this spot. I'm not going to lie to you.
You wanted to fade Coach Kelsey?
Yeah, I do. Short memory.
Wow.
Short memory. What have you done for me lately? In Louisville, coming off a loss. Boston College kind of has Louisville's number. They've beaten them the last 4 times they played. Boston College, one of those teams that makes 0 sense. They're terrible. Don't get me wrong, but they're due for a couple weird wins every season. They do it every year. This could be one of them.
They do.
Welcome in Louisville to home. No way Louisville loses 2 games in a row. No way BC wins 2 games in a row. They don't even have to win here. They just got to keep it within single digits. I like Boston College. I do. But yeah, I got to look myself in a mirror, Jovan, and I got to figure out, do I really want to fade Pat Kelsey?
Probably not.
We got Aaron coming in, dropping a resub as well. Love to see that. W's. We appreciate the subbies. Good. Dave Martinez, burner. Krabs, assuming you didn't watch the BC game Saturday. I did. Watched them win outright. Crazy game. No chance they win 2 in a row, right? No way. Louisville's free. All right. Any additional CBB plays? I need the TCU report.
Yeah. I definitely don't want to bet this game because I do think, it's a little odd to see them favored, I guess, especially after West Virginia's coming off of that win. But maybe this is just fan brain speaking. I know how good they've been at home over the past handful of seasons and how much line respect that's gotten them. And I know they're coming off of a big win against Colorado. Yes, it's a big win because TCU's been struggling, and all of the freshmen played fantastic in that game. So, I wonder if that's going to happen again against West Virginia's defense. I'm not so sure. but I do Frogs. This is Jamie Dixon. He's going for win 500 tonight. They're making a really big deal out of it. So
wow,
narrative, because I can tell you what, they're getting the shit kicked out of them on Saturday. The absolute piss. Game day in Ames is going to be horrid with Iowa State off of 3 losses. Horrid.
Yeah, I don't know what I want to take in that game. Part of me wants to just back West Virginia with the DeVries news. Now that he's out for the season, that's official. But they're coming off a big time outright win.
He's been out. He's been
I know
out.
He's been out, but that's
not like that's
final nail in the coffin. Season's over.
Yeah.
Season's over. It's official. He's not coming back. Trent, dude, there's no way we're talking about that guy.
Love that guy.
There's no way we're talking about that guy in the Big 2-5. He should be like Voldemort Trent. You can't say his name. Doesn't deserve it. Yeah, I don't know what I want to do with this game because part of me wants to buy the bad news, I guess. Sure, it's not like he's coming off of, just playing in that last game and getting hurt. He's been out for a minute. I get it, but there's still some bad news. And who the hell wants to back WV and who thinks they actually give a hoot after their star goes down, coach's son goes down. But the Frogs as well. I mean, it's not like they're playing great and they're favorites against this WU team that's coming off a win against Cincy on the road. So pretty tough spots. TCU
I do think
pretty good against Colorado as well. So
yeah, they did for a majority of the game. It's just, I don't know. I feel like this is the one thing that keeps me coming back is the whole, whenever they make a big deal out of some game as far as like an accolade goes, they pull out all the stops for it. And I'm not so sure they're going to have a chance for a while to get that for Jamie. They're inviting all of his former players and or like assistant coaches to come out for this game. So they're making like a big deal out of it. So I don't know. I obviously think they're getting killed against Iowa State. Oklahoma State, I have a really weird feeling about that game. That's right after that. They're going to Arizona State. They're playing Texas Tech. They're going to Cincy. Like that's probably their next chance, and that's on the road. They're putting all their eggs into this basket, which is the only thing that is keeping me around, but I don't want to bet them.
Okay. All right. You got any thoughts on that late night game, Wake Forest, Stanford?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know who in their right mind could want to take Wake in this game. Not that I'm one of those people, but Wake's going out to the West Coast after a big, a win that essentially saved their season for the time being. And I know Stanford's coming off that ridiculous loss that they got absolutely pounded by a good SMU team, and they're on the road. Now they're coming back home. Maxime Reynaud, should have an absolute day. And this is the classic bounce back spot when you're only getting 2.5 points for the team that's coming across the country. Looks pretty easy, I would say.
Yeah, this game makes my brain hurt.
It does. It's a confusing game.
Stanford's been playing a little bit too well for me to back them, and Wake's coming off that big time win. I wanted to fade them heading across the country after that win, but I don't know. I don't think it's super weird seeing Stanford get some line respect here after how they've looked the last 2 weeks. They've looked solid.
Yeah,
I don't think they're very
good,
a better
team than Wake right now, I would say. Stanford's they're rolling up until that SMU game. And again,
they were.
Them going cross country against a team that I still think a lot of us, myself included, I like SMU, but I don't think they get the respect they deserve because they've been playing really good ball. Defense has been fantastic for a majority of it too, but yeah, this is the classic bounce back spot with Stanford at home against an East Coast team. It looks free, I would say. That was my first initial thoughts, and I didn't really even want to bet Wake.
Yeah, maybe it is Wake. Fuck. Going all the way across the country. They still have lost 2 of their last 3, but they were against Louisville and Duke. I'll give them a pass.
Yeah, they get those. Especially because they're a little shorthanded in both those games. And they played Duke super tough. They collapsed at the end, but they're, I think, beating them for a majority of that game. So, that was good performance. Then they had back against the wall at Pitt. Game you had to have, no questions asked. They came through. So, now you're in a spot. It's a disaster situation if they don't get one of these games on the West Coast. Obviously, the Cal game makes a lot more sense because Cal's playing without their only good player. But
right.
You got to come out with something desperate in this trip.
I agree. God, that's going to be a great game. Might see some points in that one.
Yeah.
All right. I'll tell you who nobody wants to take. NC State. I still am staying on my take of fade NC State every fucking game this season after their Mickey Mouse run they had last year. And you're making coins, and I'm not wavering from that take. That take and the Grand Canyon take are paying the bills. So I'm going to stand on business there and say NC State should never be bet on this season because they still get some line respect for some reason after their run last year, but they are horribly coached. They have a horrible roster, and this team still has some line respect from last year. They're bad.
Yeah. And Cal is horrendous without Stojakovic.
And they're favorites.
Well, they already beat him in NC State.
Yeah.
With Stojakovic.
Yeah. Yeah, you won't see me on NC State. Okay. Jovan, I want to ask you, we got a couple hockey games. Not many. But I wanted to make sure there's no winners on the ice that we're missing.
Don't think you're missing anything, Krabs.
Okay. Is that some line respect for the Kings? I know they're laying minus 250. They're kind of unplayable, but, two teams who are kind of struggling. Both teams have lost 4 of their last 5, but both teams coming off a win. The Canadians and the Kings, who have similar-ish records.
No,
is that a big old line for the Kings to be laying or no?
Well, the Habs are off a back-to-back, and the Kings are 15-3 at home. So
Perfect.
I would say no. It's a normal looking line. I'd say the only
But,
line that looks a little respectful is the Rangers, I would say.
Damn, they're up to 210. Last night they were minus 175.
Yeah, that's the one I would say if there's any of the 3 there. I mean, Boston's been playing great, including just beating the shit out of the Rangers. What was it, 3 games ago? And they just came off a shutout last night too. So, I mean, that's the one. Yes, the back-to-back is also cooked in that game. But if there's a line that looks like a little bit of respect, it's definitely them.
That could be maybe a good late piece. Rangers, ML.
Yeah, I don't think they're losing that game.
Okay. All right. Well, Jovan, I do want to spend plenty of time on the squad ride here. I want to take a different strategy today as well. You ready to get into it?
Yep.
Gootsy, run that shit. I want to see that damn train. All right, Jovan, here's what we're going to do. All right, I'm going to find 2 winners on the board. Keep it simple. You're going to find 2 winners on the board. Keep it simple. We're going to put them in the squad ride poll. And they're all going to hit. And whatever choice chat makes, it's not going to matter because they're all going to be 4 winners. That's the plan. All right. I'm going to give you Providence, and I'm going to give you Oregon. I'm putting my biases, my favorite plays that I came into here off to the sides, and I'm giving you my 2 plays after talking through the entire slate on BTL today, after going over all these puppies. The 2 plays that I'm the most confident in, and that's Oregon, and that's Providence.
Okay. I'm going to give you the Pistons, and I'm going to give you Arkansas.
Okay. Let's see. Can I get some number checks on those pups?
Arkansas still 7. We get a Pistons check. Pistons down to 6.
Plus 6?
Yep.
It looks like Oregon is at 8.5. Okay. 4 plays, 4 winners, chat. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. All right. Lock in, click the right button, but we got 4 plays for you to choose from. 2 plays from each of us, Noah's archetype, and they're all hitting. Get involved. Click the right button, but no need to stress. Okay, 4 of our favorite plays for tonight. And we're cashing the squad rides together as a unit, cohesively. We're all going to meet up at the cash counter tonight. All right, after we cash this puppy. 4 plays, 4 winners. Get involved. Don't just sit there. Providence plus 3.5. We got Oregon plus 8.5. How about Arkansas plus 7? And how about the Pistons plus 6? All right, 4 dogs. This one just feels right. It feels right. All right. Chat, 4 plays, 4 winners. Please get involved. Please get involved. All right. Do we have a surge today? Can I get confirmations?
Yeah, I think this is the last one of the week, right?
He is. Cool. Big Poker Tony coming up.
Shout out Rav, man. W Rav.
Rav stepping up to the plate.
Rav takes more ABs than Trent these days, man.
Yeah, James, I'll be honest, that trade does not move needle for me. Although that could, hey, more play time for Misi. More play time for Misi.
Daniel Tice in all caps. Unbelievable, dude.
Get Daniel Tice out of there. Let's see what Misi's got, right?
Daniel Tice in all caps from Trent.
Wait, where's he going? OKC. That's why he's splurging. Sure. I'll be honest, I really do respect Daniel Tice's game. I think he's a grinder.
I mean, it's good to have big man depth if you're the Thunder. It's like, it's fine. They don't have to play small ball. But
he's a solid backup.
Yeah, great backup. Great
solid
depth
backup.
piece. But Daniel Tice all caps is crazy.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how the Thunder fuck this one up because there's no way they just coast to a championship and it's just this easy. It never has been once.
Yeah, there's not a chance. They might get there.
Never happened one time.
They ain't winning shit, man.
All right. Jack, get those votes in. Looks like you guys want to back Calipari with their swagger back, with their mojo back.
Detroit's soft.
Yeah. They don't want to go to the NBA. They're scared.
That's fair.
I don't blame them.
That.
I don't blame them. Chat real quick while we finish up this poll. Get your votes in. If you're watching on YouTube, you got to make your way over to the Twitch page. You still got a minute left. You still got time. Get over here now. Hurry up. Go, go, go. Get involved. Okay, get involved. Please get involved in the poll. Click the right button. Your favorite play you heard us talk about today. All right? And if you guys want to get involved and cop a Bookit scripted hat, I do believe we still have a few left. If you want to drop the link to that as well, I'm happy to put that puppy in there, Goots. I got it right here. Okay. We still have a few left, chat. If you guys want to get involved and look fresh, couple scripted hats still left.
I want to explain something real quick, chat. We're doing that $200 PP giveaway for pretty much a long time. So if you buy a hat now and post a picture in it a week later, you get $200 in PP promo.
So what you're saying is
that simple.
What you're saying is, Goots, we need more people posting pictures to win the giveaway. They have time. We're not going to cut it off in a couple of days. If people buy a hat right now, if people buy a hat today, they'll get it in a week. They'll get it whenever, and they'll still have time to potentially win the Prize Picks giveaway. Right? Perfect.
Yes.
Maybe we could show them that tweet real quick if you have it handy. If not,
I don't. But they can go to our page. I can drop the link.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sure. If you guys are curious about this Prize Picks giveaway, if you're curious about how to get involved, Gootsy will drop the link in the Twitch chats. Okay, Jovan, looks like we got our squad rides. Arkansas +7 on the Reds.
Woo pig.
Sign me up. Woo pig. Yep, back in Calipari and Co. They got their swagger back. All right. Stick around for the Surge stream. We've got the link that we were just talking about now in the Twitch chat. W Goots, I appreciate you. Do me a favor, guys. I'm going to drop the link to this survey again one more time as well. Fill this survey out before the Surge stream starts. If you care about our content, if you're in here almost every day watching, fill out this survey. I'll drop the link one more time in the Twitch chat if you want to get involved. Let us know what you guys want to see more of. Okay? Jovan, let's cash the squad ride tonight. No exceptions, no ifs, ands, or buts.
None. Let's get after it.
Zip. All right? Chat, Arkansas +7. We'll meet you at the cash counter, and we'll catch you guys tomorrow, same time, same